we released as a daily podcast recently, when this case came back in the news, an interview that I did in 2015 with Kevin Urich. He was the prosecutor. And TC, he doesn't come out to play all that often.
It was definitely at the time a first and an exclusive. I don't know if he hasn't made news since then. I don't think he's spoken to many people, if anyone else at all.
Okay, well, how about this? You and I are both read in on today's news. It's leading all of it's leading all of the cable channels.
All our three.
Have you seen Kevin Urich?
No.
The prosecutor? No, nowhere.
No.
Nowhere. So I interviewed him in 2015, and we recently released that as a podcast. So you will get the prosecution. Like, what does he think while this case of Adnan Syed has made Syed an international cause celeb?
Really sympathetic figure.
You'll get his side. Also, as a book club podcast, we just released a 2016 interview that I did with Rabia Chowdhury, a close friend of Adnan Syed, no greater advocate for Adnan Syed than Rabia Chowdhury. And that got a little contentious, a little heated at the end.
Very heated. I think you felt that she was looking at everything through the lens of friendship and assuming the best and assuming that his innocence, as opposed to trying to tell the actual story. And you kept the word that you kept using as we went through talking about the Serial podcast was evidentiary, that you felt that the podcast itself was entertainment, not evidentiary.
I'm going to get to
that. That's
my
memory of that.
I'm going to get to that. Yeah. That is true. Syed was serving, here are the basics, a life sentence after he was convicted of strangling his high school classmate and one-time girlfriend, Heyman Lee, whose body was found buried in a park in Baltimore in 1999. From the Times, I'm reading now, in a remarkable reversal, Syed walked out of prison on Monday for the first time since he was a teenager, having spent 23 years fighting his conviction on charges that he murdered his former high school girlfriend. Judge Melissa Finn, the Baltimore City Circuit Court judge, vacated the conviction in the interests of justice and fairness, finding the prosecutors had failed to turn over evidence that could have helped Syed at trial and discovered new evidence that could have affected the outcome of the case. Now, prosecutors have 30 days to decide if they'll proceed with a new trial or drop the case entirely against Syed, who was ordered yesterday to serve home detention. Until then, prosecutors said that an investigation had pointed to two possible alternative suspects, although those individuals have not been named publicly or charged. I saw that the Times also had a back and forth with Sarah Koenig, who was behind the Serial podcast, really her investigative reporting and narration and so forth. She was asked, who's the alternative suspect? She said there are actually two of them. The state isn't naming these people right now, but detectives definitively know who they were at the time. The state is saying these suspects, either one or both, have criminal histories that are relevant to the crime, and that one of them has a family connection to the location where Heyman's car was found. The most damning thing is that a couple of people had told the prosecutor's office at the time that one of the suspects had a motive to kill Hay and even had threatened to do so, and that information was never told to the defense. That alone, not handing over important evidence, could be grounds to overturn a murder conviction. Hey, if that's true, that's a very serious issue and is absolutely grounds for a new trial.